Oh, won't you please remember me as I remember you. I'm out on the sea looking for your port. Are you waiting for me at your shore?
Do you remember the first day we met?
Deep inside the hole, I wonder of the man outside your walls and try to get in. Is it hard to remember where we were before? Are you waiting for me at your shore?
Sir, I need you to calm down. Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
The ambulance is on its way. I need to know, sir, is she still breathing?
You're right here every time I call, and I know you call, 'cause you're right here. I've missed you, dear. I can feel you in my arms, and I know you're not gone, 'cause you're right here.
Life goes on. It doesn't matter how much you push it, pull it, remember, or forget. It's indifferent. It just goes on.
The film is A Perfect Life. It is screening this weekend, starting opening night of the Park City Film Music Festival. We've got the producer and star of the film, Joe Rosati, here, and Scott Stone, the man who shot it all. Guys, thanks so much for coming in, and congratulations on finishing a film and getting it into the festival here.
Thank you.
So maybe, Joe, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about how you came to this project and a little bit about what the film is about. You see a lot of different kind of images here, so we get some sense of what it is,
right.
But maybe give us a quick synopsis.
The film, it's a non-linear film. It's about about an architect and a homeless guy, and you can't really tell if it's the homeless guy's imagination that he was an architect at one point in his life, or that he's imagining this perfect life. The American dream, the fallacy of the American dream, the two-car garage, the white picket fence, the golden retriever, the two kids. And the tagline says it all. It's not commitment that I have a problem with, it's contentment. And so that's, in a nutshell, that's kind of describes it.
And how did you, find out about this film that you jumped on as a producer and then star of the film?
Good question. Well, Chad Ruin, the writer and director of the film, he's in Tacoma right now, actually. He and I met about 5 years ago working together, and we formed a bond in filmmaking. And he had a script that had been sitting around for a while. It was in the 2002 Austin Film Festival as a screenplay. And after years of getting things together and meeting Scott and I, we finally decided, with the advances in technology and the Canon 7D camera, we were able, with our networking connections in the Northwest, to put the film together. And I'd acted before in a couple of Chad's projects, and it started to make sense to make a film into a feature film. And Scott came on board, and the rest
is history.
Yes.
Well, Scott, let's talk about shooting this film and putting it all together. Joe mentioned you shot it with a DSLR. Has that tool. I mean, we see so many commercials and even and movies. I think 127 hours was shot on a 70. We use one right here at the station as well. How has having that piece of technology changed the film business?
I keep it on my pillow next to my bed. Love that camera. Well, I was shooting commercials. I ran a production company and shot a lot of commercials for years on the XL1, which you're probably familiar with. And so to take that jump from DV to HD and to be able to have all of the creative control and to be able to separate yourself from the technology and really just handle the camera like a paintbrush and really become the eyes of the audience, that was really exciting and happened really organically with that camera.
For a director of photography, I would imagine, though, one of your biggest fears and issues must have been shooting in the Pacific Northwest, where any couple of hours it could start pouring on you, ruining continuity and everything else.
We had one scene in particular that speaks to that. On a rooftop, a really dramatic scene in the pouring rain, and there was no rain. And we waited and waited, and finally we built a rain rig, and we made it rain in the Northwest. I don't think you can tell in the film, but we actually had to build a rain rig. It was
like bringing ice to the Eskimos, right?
Exactly.
So, but talk a little bit about this project. Obviously, with any independent film, for much of it, it's a labor of love. Was that the case on this one?
Absolutely. Chad, the writer, and Joe had mentioned it was in the Austin Film Festival. It was a second rounder, which is kind of a big deal to just have something like that laying around. And Chad and I met over a concept that I had for a feature, and he loved the idea, and we spent the next year and a half writing a script, another script called Man of Perdition. And we went down to L.A. and pitched the script to some producers, and realized on the way home, long drive in a rental Prius, that we needed to make a film. We need to prove that we're competent filmmakers, and I hope that we've done that with A Perfect Life. But we came back, and Joe and I were on a chairlift, as we try to be on a regular basis, and we got the call from Chad, and he said, Joe would make a perfect Brian. And I think that week we started pre-production, didn't we?
So jumped right in, and went from there. Talk a little bit about the Film Music Festival. The Park City Film Music Festival used to be run concurrently with Sundance. Now they've moved it sort of away so it doesn't compete. Right. But this is another Park City sort of labor of love.
Yeah, I've been learning about it recently, as we just moved here in November of last year. And I know that they used to run it during Sundance, along with about 7 other festivals.
Right.
And so now it's just Sundance and Slam Dance. And they basically moved it a few months later so they can get venues like the Egyptian and the Library and the other venue. I can't think of it right
Prospector.
now. Thank you.
Theater.
Thank you.
Yep.
And so they were able to, get the much better venues and separate it. Because I think people at first were trying to capitalize that everyone was going to come here. But with 8 festivals going on at once, how do you stand out? And I think now they're in their second year, and they're able to stand out and be their own festival. And since the focus on music, I was thrilled to submit the film and being part of the score. And I think it's fantastic. So. All
right. Well, if people do want more information on the film, you have a website for the film itself,
yes.
Which is
www.a-perfect-life.com.
Okay. Yes. Fantastic. And the film screens when?
This Friday, May 20th, at 6 p.m. at the Egyptian, and then the following Saturday, May 28th. At 8:30 p.m. at Prospector.
Fantastic, guys! Thanks so much, and best of luck. And hopefully, we'll see you in here again in the future.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
We've got a whole lot more to come when we come back from the